All right. So, last member of the cohort, Mr. Chris.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to read my notes on this on my go. Okay. So, yeah, I was thinking back to the first initial meeting back in, what was it, in Fort Lauderdale? Was it like 10 months ago, or was like 5 years ago at this point? Because it feels like it's been the longest year ever with everything going on. But I think it was October, November? Okay. I was thinking about that, and I just recalled the initial. I think it might have been the first thing that was pulled up, and it was the wax on, wax off video, and it was. And I was really thinking about that because that was kind of like the idea of the learning style, is that we're really not going to teach you, but you're going to absorb it, type of thing. Like, we're just going to interact, and you're not going to think you're learning, but you're going to be learning. So I was kind of thinking about kind of initially how that was going to go. And then when it really hit me was when we did the retake of the emotional intelligence test. And I was taking longer on each particular question that I did the first time. The first time it was like, hey, let's get this done as quickly as possible. Let's move on to the next thing, whatever. I found myself just naturally taking longer and actually over processing some of the questions than I had done before, instead of just answering them right away. It was more of a task, if you will. And this time around, the second time around, was more of like, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm answering this correctly and getting things done the right way. Which kind of led to the next part, was then I get the results and every single thing I had was lowered. So I go, well, what the hell? Like, I am trying on this. And then Dr. Gary's like, well, hey, that's pretty normal and common. And other people chimed in that was what else they had too. But it was good to see that overthinking and analyzing to that point wasn't a negative. It was actually a positive, that I was taking the growth steps forward. So to me, that throughout the process, I've learned that I can further myself and better myself with others around me too, as a result of that. And I've been starting to, take more time to realize my actions rather than just taking the actions upon myself. I'm taking, making sure I'm crafting the right email, making sure that I'm taking a moment to digest things rather than just getting a quick reply to things or an email or a phone call and letting the emotions out rather than analyzing the overall situation. And then making sure I'm framing it up to them the correct way and positively and not so negatively perceived, because everyone's a little bit different. And I think that kind of a little bit of what our project, our book report was, getting out of the box, right? And I think that now I'm understanding the box. Initially, I'd be like, hey, this is this, you need to do this or do that. Now I'm understanding people's situations better and thinking more clearly about them, and not trying to put someone judging from the initial standpoint of what I think, because I don't know a lot behind the scenes. So I think just taking a little bit more time with that, I think that's kind of helped me understand of how my actions possibly can affect them or how they can be perceived. So I think just, again, trying to understand how my actions affect others is something I've been really working on. And then just really just getting better as an overall self, and just growing as a person within this group, kind of taking the tools that you guys have provided to take it to that next level, and kind of seeing what I want to do from a career standpoint within BBI. And Bill and I really appreciated the coaching sessions with you. I think that was, to me, the most beneficial part of this program, because sometimes it's just good to just talk through with somebody about, hey, I did this, maybe I should do this. And, and Bill would frame up one word and I said it this way, and I go, well, that sounds way better, and it was the same idea to get to the same point, but it was just a little bit more of a cleaner message. I really appreciated the calls with Bill, because I just feel like we got a good rapport going, and it was great, because sometimes you just need someone to talk to about things. And I felt like that Bill was very understanding. He had a business background too, so we kind of clicked on the sales things and what he's experienced, what I've experienced. So I had a great pleasure with working through Bill throughout that process. And I think that's really just helped me grow just from talking to somebody, because I feel like a lot of the times I would just take actions rather than talk through things. And never really had someone to talk through a lot of it, some of the other sides too. So I appreciated that from Bill, and I think it was a great overall experience. And I think overall, it's just, this program's really made me take a step back and think about all that, and think about making myself maybe more time to kind of chillax a little bit and not keep going 100 miles per hour. And for that, you know, I'm grateful, and I continue to work on the self-improvement aspects more than just the sales numbers, if you will, and continue to grow as a person. And then all the other things will follow after that.
Awesome.